Your girl is back. Your girl is back with another video. So, as usual, you guys, I am back. I am back to give you all some more tea and catch up. I do apologize for my absence. Your girl has been gone, honey. Your girl had a breast reduction, guys. So, I just been taking these last few days to kind of heal up. But I do have me some time at the house. So, while I'm at the house, I figured, hey, why not catch up on some of my YouTube videos and chat with my people? I know right now we don't have anybody in here. You all may be out enjoying your Saturday, but no worries. I'm going to be uploading this as a video afterwards, as usual. So, for those of you all who may not be able to catch me live today, you all can catch the replay, honey. So, before we get into some things, honey, let's go ahead and subscribe. Because if you ain't subscribed, what is you doing? What are you doing? Go ahead and subscribe and turn on those notifications, honey. So yes, honey, I am bringing this to you all from my handicap bed, okay? Uh, Fresh off the breast reduction table, honey, spilling the tea. But yeah, so let's get into it. So in my last couple of days, laying on my bed, bored out my mind. Hey, baby mom number two, how you doing, girl? Hey, thank you for joining. But yes, honey. So, as I've been sitting in my bed, scrolling through YouTube, honey, I came across some interesting things that's been going on. So first thing first, we're gonna get into D Reigns versus Coco, and then we are going to talk about MrsLatruth, honey, airing out DaBaby, honey. She aired it out. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's talk about it. And I want you all to come in the comments and share how you think, give your input. Of course, I'll read your comments so we can interact here. So let's get this thing started. So, first things first, D Reigns and Coco. Now, y'all know I like to give y'all the background on who these people are. So, D Reigns is she's another person who I think she goes live on Facebook. She's trying to get into the whole, Facebook influencer, social media influencer realm. So, she's a person who was once she was in the drama with Latrice. I first heard of her when Coco and Latrice first fell out. I'm not sure what the background is, y'all. So y'all gonna have to go catch up on that. Don't get me the line. But I'm assuming that her and Latrice at one point got into it because she was one of the people over on Coco's side, cheering him on, instigating, just pretty much taking his side. And her and Coco formed a kind of friendship or relationship from there. Like I said, I don't know if that's a true backstory. I know they are all from Florida, from some parts of Florida. So I don't know if they had been knew each other. But the first time I heard about D Reigns was, when the whole Coco and Latrice drama first went down. So ever since that happened, there have been kind of whisperings that D Reigns and Coco had something going on. She would, comment on his live, enjoying his live. It's what the streets are saying. And they were pretty flirtatious with each other. I think recently Coco is down in Florida. I don't know if he's back there for good or if he's just visiting family. But I guess, D Reigns hit him up and wanted to see what he was on. Like she heard he was, in her city or close by. So she hit him up and she was like, hey, what's going on? What you got going? And so I guess they proceeded to, make some plans to link up. Now, like I said, backstory, she's somebody who's got into it with Latrice before about Coco. She has been a Coco supporter. She has been pretty vocal about, the friendship or whatever is going on between her and Coco. She's never came out and said they were messing around. But, like I said, there were a lot of whisperings and a lot of chatter about them two having something going on. So I guess they linked up and they had them a good old time. They had them a night out on the town because she heard that he was, in her area. Now she went live before, and I watched it. Like I said, I'm catching up on all this from all the reaction videos. But she went live. She was pretty much, excited that he was in town. She was kind of being a little shady. I think from what it seems like, from my observation, it seems like she was wanting to kind of give the viewer some tea or give them some type of entertainment because everybody pretty much tries to put her and Coco together and they think that her and Coco should be a thing just to get back at Latrice. That's what it's looking like, right? So, she's going live. She's excited to see him. They're turning up. And so, the next thing we know, I guess they have a night out on the town. I guess they have some drinks. He has a hotel. She goes back to the hotel. He's thinking that it's about to go down. She's saying, it ain't going down like that. So here's where we start hearing both sides of their story. And here's where everything kind of takes a turn for the worse. So D-Rain says, okay, well, me and Coco went out for a night on the town. We were dancing. And I just said, hey, I want to see what your room look like. Show me where you're staying. He had been talking about how he had him a nice room or hotel or whatever. And I was curious to see. So she went up to his room at 3 o'clock in the morning from what she's saying, she went to see what the room was looking like. That's what she say. And he then became angry because he started trying to come on to her, trying to get her to give him some, and she went with it. Cause she's like, I'm nobody's booty call. From Coco's side, he comes out and he pretty much tells his viewers that, him and D Raines, they ain't no thing. She's not his type of woman. In so many words, he pretty much say, she ain't got too much that she can offer him. So he ain't looking at her like that or whatever. And, yeah, she came up to the room at 3 o'clock, but it wasn't no pressure on nothing. But of course, if you come to a room at 3 o'clock in the morning, what else are you trying to do? So he's pretty much saying that she's coming on here flexing like he was just begging, or like he just was so infatuated with her when she too was coming on to him and being flirtatious with him. And she's just upset because he told her in their interactions with each other that she just was not his type of woman. And this is not me trying to be judgmental, but Coco, it seems like from what he has displayed to us so far, if you ain't, you know, talking about taking care of him or making sure he's straight or worshiping the ground that he walk on, yeah, you can be as pretty as you want to be. If you can't bring nothing to the table for him, he don't really want nothing to do with you. That's the vibes that I'm getting from the Coco. So I think that D Raines was offended that he came onto his live and he stated that she was not his type, and so she decided to take it a step further and air it out and pretty much make it seem like he was just being mad with her because she didn't want to give him no sex. Now, this part where it lost me, she got her mom to speak out. Her mom got involved. Her mom tried to speak up for her. Some way their families know each other. Like I said, I don't know if they just met through the whole Facebook Live thing or do they know each other from Florida. Something. Like I said, forgive me if I don't know all the backstory, but pretty much, she was just basically saying that, he, is just trying to play her like, she was a nobody and that she was just someone who was obsessed with him when he was making advances at her and he was acting like he wanted her. And here's my thoughts on that before we move on to the next topic. I think that from the beginning, D Raines, I think she liked it, Coco. And I think that she didn't like Latrice. And I think that, the relationship between them two was entertaining to the public because, people wanted to see, someone come in, swoop Coco up and make Latrice mad. And I think the D Raines, like I think she kind of played on that. I think that she kept the whole flirtatious relationship going with her and Coco, just because, she wanted to get back at Latrice because they had some type of feud in the past. As far as her going up to his room at 3 in the morning, listen, D Raines, okay? I'm gonna tell you this right now, and I'm not just where I'm from and from what I've experienced in life. I know I ain't nothing but 28, but you ain't going to nobody's room at 3 o'clock if you ain't trying to, do a little something, something. We can go to sleep at home. Okay. Like if you're my friend and if I don't have any intentions of being inappropriate with you, us drinking after the club intoxicated, it may not be the best idea for me to go lay down in your bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. Because if we're just friends and I'm not trying to cross any boundaries and I'm demanding respect from you, then I'm going to handle myself in a respectful way. And I'm going to go on to my car and go on home and lay down in my own bed if I don't want to give off the impression that I may give up some booty. Okay. That's just what it is. And so it was kind of confusing to me how, you want to come on this platform and you kind of want to make Coco look like the bad guy as if, he was being some type of disrespectful, aggressive man. But I'm just going to keep it all the way real. I mean, he has pretty much shown us how much he has respect for women in the beginning. Listen, this is my thing. I don't have nothing against Coco. I don't know Coco. I'm pretty sure he's a great person. But it was my confusion when so many women were so interested in hearing his story and so interested in being a supporter of him after he pretty much came on this platform and admitted to a lot of people that he was using Latrice. He was looking for a paymaster. He didn't respect her. And him as a grown man pretty much played the role and pretended to be attracted to somebody that he was not attracted to for some money. That goes to show you right there the type of person he is. It doesn't mean that he's a bad person. It just means that this is the type of person that is not going to say, fairy tale. He pretty much he gonna give it to you straight, no chaser. If you ain't trying to line his pockets, if you ain't trying to be on what he on, you pretty much ain't gonna get far with him. So my thing is, what were you expecting from this guy? And so back to what I was saying, when him and Latrice fell out, and when so many women kind of ran to his platform and wanted to support him, that was very weird to me because I'm like, I mean, I don't see what's so interesting about a man that pretty much just came up off a woman and used her as a meal ticket to create his own platform and then bragging about it. So, what are we expecting from someone with this type of character? Because anybody who was a stand-up guy, who was, the average respectful man, wouldn't even took it that far. If I ain't attracted to you, I'm not attracted to you. If you could give me all the money in the world, I don't want to take advantage of you or use you, so I'm gonna go my separate way, and I'm not gonna come on social media and expose you. Period. I don't care how bad the breakup get. That's what most men would do. So for her to be someone who was kind of supporting him and riding his wave, and she was so excited to see him, and she was pretty much, from what it seems like, she was pretty much a fan of him, a fan of his, and someone who flirted with him off camera, from what the allegations are spewing and people are saying on the streets. For you to be surprised that he wanted some booty when you came to his room at 3 o'clock, I mean, girl, the average person is gonna think that something is about to go down if you come to their room at 3 o'clock. So of course, this man who pretty much has made it clear the type of man he is, of course he gonna want you to lay down with him and get busy. But that's the big thing with them. Like I said, it was a lot of back and forth. She getting her mom involved. He's saying his piece. He pretty much saying that she was a fan. He didn't want it. And she just mad because he said that he was not attracted to her. And I can see her being upset by that, because she kind of said, well, he telling y'all he wasn't attracted to me, but he was offering to fly me out. And I think that he probably was interested in maybe a physical relationship with her, or he maybe was interested in seeing what he could get out of her, or seeing what she would be willing to do for him. But once he kind of got to know her, and he probably saw that this was not going to be the same situation with Latrice, he probably wasn't as interested as he once was. And so I don't think that is anything is wrong with him not being interested in her, because at the end of the day, you like what you like. And if he's somebody who want a woman to take care of him, and if you come around and you ain't giving him vibes, then you probably ain't gonna be his type. So I don't get what the big deal was about him saying that she wasn't his type. I just don't get why it had to turn into a thing. I mean, this is why you don't sit back and you don't laugh at, another woman's misfortune with a man, because this man could turn around and do the same thing to you. I wouldn't have been attracted to him from how it played out with him and Latrice, even though the situation with him and Latrice, they both were wrong. They both got on social media and dogged each other out. They both handled their breakup in a way that could have been handled differently. I just wouldn't have looked at him and got turned on and been like, yeah, that's it. No, absolutely not. But that's my thoughts on that. So, moving on, the next thing that happened this week was MrsLatruth, honey. MrsLatruth, she aired out DaBaby, honey, and she exposed DaBaby. So, background on Miss LaTruth. Miss LaTruth is the wife of LaTruth. He's another person who came up on social media. He's like he does music. He's the one that has that catchy song, "Let me see you dance, girl. Drop it low, drop it to the floor." I like that. It's very catchy. But so he's a music artist. He's someone who's used social media to his advantage to become a millionaire. He's a very popular guy, and he has a beautiful wife. Her name is Miss LaTruth. I don't know what her real name is, y'all, because like I said, these people, I have not watched them for a long time, but I know that him and her, they're pretty much famous for doing their skits. They do like the skits where she pretends to be his side piece, and they kind of give us some entertaining interactions with how a man would interact with his side chick. And they're a pretty funny couple, beautiful couple. She's a beautiful woman. She's very gorgeous, and he's also a handsome man. And so they've risen off that. They've pretty much capitalized off of their social media presence. Well, last week or a couple days ago, like I said, y'all, I just got through surgery, so I don't. The days have been running together, but I'm just gonna say a few days ago, she pretty much posted to her social media screenshots of DaBaby coming into one of their, I guess they had a mutual friend or whatever, coming into someone else's DMs and saying, "Hey, who is this little bad bitch right here? Put me on," you know. And so Miss LaTrue, she then exposed the messages, and she just pretty much was like, this is very offensive to me because, first of all, I'm nobody's bad bitch. I'm a grown woman. And on top of that, DaBaby, your team has reached out to my husband, and you all have been trying to work together. Hey, first baby mama. Hey, yeah, girl. Yeah, honey, it got real. She said, but yeah, she basically said that DaBaby and his team had reached out to LaTruth, and they were trying to do some work together, and so he had started to build a business relationship with her husband. So for him to be trying to come into someone else's DMs to kind of persuade her to get at him on the low is super disrespectful, and she felt like it needed to be aired out. Miss LaTruth also said that other famous people have come into her DMs, but the difference between them and DaBaby is that none of those people have been trying to work with her husband, and they weren't disrespectful about it. First baby mom said that's crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. That is very crazy. Now DaBaby is saying, he's saying it's photoshopped. If you look at the messages, that's not even how he talks. He's saying a graphic designer probably altered some messages because he would never do anything like that. And pretty much, other people are accusing her of clout. And Miss LaTruth is like, well, honey, I don't need the clout. Being my man, we've been famous, we've been popping. What would I need the clout for? So I'm just simply doing this because I feel like it's super disrespectful for you, to be trying to work with my husband and come at me in that angle. So I'm going to say this about that situation. If DaBaby did in fact do that, then that was dead wrong. Dead wrong. This is a married woman. And I know nowadays people don't really care about people being married. People don't really take marriage as serious as they used to. But this is a married woman, and you just don't come at a married woman in that way. If he did this. Now I'm kind of torn because I just don't see why he would do something like that. I mean, he is DaBaby, you know what I'm saying? And so, not saying that she's a beautiful woman. Don't get me wrong. She's a beautiful woman. She is gorgeous. But that would be very awkward to me that out of all the people who you could be shooting your shot at out here on social media, it will be her. So a part of me is like, well, maybe this was something that was photoshopped and sent to her friend, and maybe it was a misunderstanding. But that's pretty weird to me. So I'm torn on that situation because I don't listen. I don't know DaBaby, right? I don't know these people personally, but I just don't see him being that thirsty like that. Because that's a little thirsty. But on the flip side, it could very well be true. A lot of these rappers do, get to feeling themselves, and they do feel like they can have anybody they want. And first lady mama said some lines you don't cross. Yeah, you don't cross that line. If somebody's married, you need to leave that alone. You need to leave that alone. Even if somebody is in a relationship, leave it alone. So that's what I'm kind of torn, because on one hand, I'm like, that's messed up if he did do it. But then I'm kind of like, would he do that? Would he be that dumb? Would he be that crazy? You know? So I'm kind of torn on that one. Now, the only reason why I would give her, I didn't really give her a side eye, but the only reason why I would kind of look at her sideways is, regardless of, I feel like she was more offended of the way that he spoke about her when he called her a bad little bitch or whatever. Hey, Miss Darlene, how you doing? But yeah, I think she was more offended by that. And so that's why she, decided to expose him out of everybody who was in her DM, because I don't care who it is. If it's DaBaby, if it's a basketball player or whoever, anybody who comes into your DMs is being disrespectful to your husband. Because, she's saying that, okay, DaBaby is trying to work with her husband, so that's why she chose to expose him. But honestly, none of these famous people should be in your DMs, because you are clearly a married woman. So all of their ass should be exposed if that's the case. So that's the only side eye I can give her, even though I get where she's coming from, but it just was the whole situation was kind of strange to me. It was kind of strange. And so I just, like I said, I feel like she was more offended of the way he spoke about her. He kind of spoke about her as if she was just another one of these little hood rats on Instagram, just showing her body when she's a respectful married woman, and he had the nerve to kind of come at her like that. So I think that's why she was so upset by it, because in my head, I'm thinking, well, girl, you said that he's not the first person to approach you. A girl, all they ass should be getting exposed. If that's the case, honey, I would have my husband husband, look at all these people in my DMs doing, and me and you married. My name is literally MrsLatruth. So if you don't know she married by that, then you crazy. Susie Bird said, I think it's someone that's trying to mess up their work relationship. Yeah, I think it was a setup, because I just don't see DaBaby doing that. I just don't see him doing that. First of all, he's much. I mean, and I don't know these people ages, so I don't want to, I don't want to accuse her of being older than what she is. But I just don't see him having to go after a married woman when they're in two different lanes. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's a little bit more, they're an older, mature couple. Even though they look great to be their age, they're an older, mature couple with kids. I don't see what he would want from her, because he wouldn't be able to get much, because she's a married woman. Darlene says, I love both of them. Yeah, I love them. They're a beautiful couple. First baby mama says, right. Yeah, so I think it was a setup. I think it was a little bit of setup. And I think that she could have taken heed to that. Being that the DMs did not come directly from him, I wouldn't have exposed it. I would have had to kind of fact check a little bit more, because that was a little strange to me. That was very strange. I don't see him risking it all, risking a business deal that he could get, risking all of that to come after her, because even if, she would have took the bait and would have hit him up, what relationship can they have? Like, she's married. So the most y'all can do is sneak around with each other, and that's not gonna last long, because her brand is being the wife of LaTruth. So yeah, I think somebody set that up. That's a good observation, Miss Susie. Yeah, that's a good observation. Somebody definitely set that up. Somebody definitely did set that up, honey. Mm-hmm. But yes, y'all. So that's all that has happened on these YouTube streets that I've pretty much been interested in these last couple of days. Like I said, for those of y'all who's just joining, I do apologize for my absence. I've been kind of down, not down, but I've been on literally down. I had a breast reduction surgery, so I've not been able to, not been able to maneuver around like I usually am. So I'm over here recovering, but those are my only two big topics that happen, that I have noticed. If you all have anything that you all want me to cover, you can drop it in the comments. If you all want to chat about something else, but the D-Rain situation and Coco, that was just crazy. Ross did return. Oh, let me say her name right. Roz, chopping it up with Roz. She did return with her commentary, and I will say that I like her approach this time. She came back after being sick for a while. I'm glad she's okay. And I know that I have done commentary in the past, just basically saying I didn't like how she was coming at Latrice, and I did not like how she was coming at Latrice. But this time, she said that she's going to be mindful about her approach, and she's going to try not to be, as judgmental as, she was before. So I'm glad that she came back with a different approach. And so she also covered that topic as well. First baby mom said, take it easy. Yeah, I'm going to take it easy, honey. I'm over here bored. So I said, well, let me get on my YouTube and keep some content coming. Yes, yes, yes. But, thank you all for joining me today. I just wanted to come and talk about those two things quickly, honey. So y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments below, honey. Like I said, if you have not already done so, subscribe to my channel and turn those post notifications on. And I'm gonna be also, scoping the YouTube streets as well, seeing, if some more tea we can have some conversations about. Miss Sue said I had one 6 months ago. Oh, okay. Did you like it? You know what? I really am liking the recovery process. It's much different than a BBL. I will say the recovery is much easier. But it's kind of like still, I like to be able to be fully functional. I like to be able to wash clothes, run up and down the steps, so it's getting used to having limitations. But I was a triple D. So yeah, I had to get these bad boys taken out a little bit, because I had lipo as well, so you know that made them stand out even more. So I was like, yeah, I need to kind of take these down a little bit. Alrighty. Well, you guys, thank you all for joining me today. Like I said, honey, I was gonna be on here quickly just to touch on those two things. And like I said, this video will be posted on my page. So if you all think of anything else you all want me to cover, y'all just go ahead and comment it down below. Oh, look at First Lady Mama sending the hearts. Thank you all for supporting me and joining me, honey. Hearts back to you, First Baby Mom, and everybody who joined the chat. So y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you all in my next video. See y'all later.